Hi, Lawrence. I am Kelly Slight, and I graduated from Lawrence High School in 2003. I took Spanish with Miss Brooks for the whole time I was at Lawrence, and I really loved it. I lived in Clinton when I was a student there. I now live in Boston. And I work with a lot of inner city students and a couple of bilingual schools where kids get to come in after a certain period of time. There's basically two sides of the school where I work, and one side is all Spanish and one side is all English. And so once the kids learn enough English from the Spanish side, they get to go over to the English side. And so I work with the Girl Scouts doing after-school programming with those students at the school. I have been using Spanish pretty consistently since graduating from college. I went to university in New York, and I took Spanish for a couple years there and really enjoyed it, but sort of drifted away from it for a little while, and got back into it. Once I graduated, I joined the Peace Corps, and I got to work with students in El Salvador, teaching environmental education to kids in K through 9. Up there. And so my whole life for 3 years was in Spanish. And it was a bit of a change, and I don't think I could have survived those 3 years not knowing the language or doing anything without having had Spanish as a background when I was a student at Lawrence and afterwards. So I'm very lucky to have survived that that experience. It was really wonderful. It was the best experience I've ever done. If you want to go into Peace Corps, I fully encourage it. And then afterwards, I worked in outdoor ed school outside of Boston, and then I worked last year in Spain. Actually, I taught applied English over there, so I taught science classes in English to the students at a public school in rural Spain, and that was really wonderful. I think that that really helped me see the world. I mean, I always wanted to go everywhere and do everything, and knowing Spanish has helped me do that. I've been able to travel around and see things and do things that a lot of other people don't because they don't speak another language, and it's just helped me out in so many ways. Even just knowing base language information, like how to conjugate verbs, it helps so much in Romance languages. So when I travel to France and Italy, I can speak pretty much the language by only learning a few verbs or a few words because of the similarities in the languages. And with Spanish, I was able to travel through South America, through Central America, by myself, my friends, and my family. I mean, it's been incredibly, incredibly helpful, and I've been very fortunate to have that training when I was younger and that experience when I was younger, because the younger that you learn a language, the better you are at it. The easier it is to learn the accent, to get your tongue to move in those weird ways. I wish I could have learned at a younger age Spanish, because I think it's so important to be bilingual today and to have that background, because it's everywhere now. I mean, when I'm in Boston, I go eat pupusas, which is like a Salvadoran food, sorry. I go eat Salvadoran food in Chelsea, and the waitresses only speak Spanish, so it's the best food in Chelsea, so of course I have to have it. But I wouldn't know anything, and I wouldn't be able to get anywhere if I didn't speak another language. It's been so helpful. So I don't know. I guess, let me see if there's any other questions here. Oh, in high school, I did enjoy taking Spanish. That's true. And I really enjoyed languages in general. But it was hard. It was very hard. It was pretty challenging. But it's so helpful. I mean, like I can't say that the challenges outweigh the benefits of knowing Spanish. I didn't know I would join Peace Corps. I didn't, well, even though I had wanted to in high school, I didn't know that I would be placed in a Central American country where they would speak Spanish. Of all the languages and all the places in the world, it was very fortunate that I got to a Spanish-speaking country and was able to improve my skills that way. But I didn't know that I would use Spanish as much as I do now. I mean, it's a big integral part of my life, actually knowing Spanish, and it's been very, very helpful. So, in college, I did not study abroad. I've gotten all my study abroad experience after college. And yeah, as I said, I've traveled around the world outside of school, which is because of Spanish. Let's see. I guess I think that if I had to give you an advice, I'd say start now. Take in all the languages. It's an incredible way to see the world. I wouldn't have the courage to travel as much as I did if I didn't speak the language. I think that I probably would have avoided South America altogether and just gone gallivanting around places that I knew spoke English, which is so sad because there's so much culture out there and there's so many people, places to go and see and do that that you can't miss it just because you don't speak the language. So, I mean, even knowing just a little bit is just incredibly helpful. So, I think that, just start as early as possible and absorb as many languages as possible because they'll help. They'll all help you get around the world and they'll all help you communicate with people. I mean, especially in today's world, America is the least bilingual place ever, and we need to be. I mean, we need to head in that direction. So I would encourage you to be a generation of people that starts America as a bilingual place, and especially Maine, because there's a need for people who are bilingual, and there's jobs for people who are bilingual. I've never had to stop and wait for a job because there's been plenty of opportunity for me since I'm fluent in 2 languages and semi-fluent in a couple others, but I just pretend. And yes, well, anyways, I'd like to just say good luck and keep with it. It's the best. It's the best way to travel. It's the best way to learn, and it's necessary. All right. Thank you for your time, Lawrence. And if you want to get in touch with me, you can ask Miss Brooke. She has my email address. So I'm available if you have any questions or anything that, if you don't believe my stories, then you can just send me an email. All right. Thank you very much. Bye.